everyone, and welcome to another video of my opinion about classical music. If you are new here, welcome. If you are an old viewer, welcome back. If you do like this video, I'd be very happy if you press the like button. And if you don't like this video, I'd like for you to tell me why not in the comments down below. And I'd also be very happy if you subscribed anyway. Today's video is about Dvořák Symphony number 9, fourth movement. You may know this movement as the Jaws theme movement, but let me tell you, that's only a tiny little fragment of this movement. We will not be listening to the whole thing today because it's really long, but I will link the recording I'm using in this video down below and you can check it out yourself, or you can find a recording on YouTube as well. That works out too. So let's start from the top, shall we? With the opening, the most famous part of this movement. And it's famous because it's good, obviously. The reason I think this is a really good part is because it utilizes tension in a really good way. The fragment he uses in this opening is actually just a simple minor second. And for those of you who don't know what a minor second is, it's really just a half step between notes. And it sounds like this. Or if you play them together. And the thing about minor seconds is that they don't sound great together, or that depends on your definition of great, but in this context it's not meant to sound great. In Western classical music, the rules, if you want to call them that, say that tones that are closer together are dissonant, which basically means they don't sound good together. Composers still use them though, because they create a lot of tension. All music is made up of tension and release, really. All music. The same thing applies for like a dominant chord that I talked about last time, and tonic. You have dominant is the chord with the tension, and the tonic is the release of the tension. In this case, the whole opening is basically just a really long tension part, which is released when the first theme comes in. I have named this theme A, and even though theme A is a big part of this piece, I would actually say it's most of this piece, I will not be talking much about it. It's nice, it's catchy, you probably remember it when you're done, but that's all there is to say about it. It's not super impressive to compose this. We can listen to it though. Here, have a sample. Now that you've heard about half the piece, let's listen to theme B as well. Congratulations, you've heard about 90% of the piece now. Now let's skip to the interesting parts, shall we? If you have your own score, I'm now starting to look at bar 65. First we have this really nice ascending movement in the bassoons, and then comes a beautiful clarinet solo. And underneath the beautiful clarinet solo we have the strings playing tremolo. And the tremolos in themselves cause a tiny little bit of tension. Like if you imagine a smooth tone being silk, this is more cotton in a way. It's a bit rougher. It's not rough, but it's a bit rougher, causing a bit of tension. It's just a different texture, you know? And then there's also these really nice responses in the cellos. So you have the clarinets calling, and the cellos responding. And the big shocker about this is that this technique is called call and response. And this technique is super common in a lot of music. You have it from folk music to classical music, as this is an example of. You have it in gospel music, especially like the black gospel tradition uses this a lot. Jazz obviously uses this a lot. I don't listen to a lot of pop music or anything, but I'm sure it's there as well. But anyway, back to the tension. The tension basically just builds and builds throughout this part. Eventually we get the strings involved as well, and it all kind of resolves in this bar right here, which is bar 92. Or well, resolves. It kind of reaches a high point and then it kind of downgrades from that. It goes back to where it came from. Let's not listen to this whole part because it's really long, but we will listen to the clarinet solo because that's really beautiful. Then we can skip to the next interesting part, which just are these few bars right here, where the woodwinds are kind of combined with the strings to form a different kind of timbre. The only thing I'm sad about here is that there's no contrabassoon playing alongside the contrabass on the final stretch here. Let's hear these bars real quick. Now let's hop to the next interesting part, which is bar 156 to 159. And what I really like here is the woodwind part. Even though it's based on the themes we've already heard, it's a kind of a different flavor to what we've heard before. And as always, if you do something clever, do it twice. Let's have a listen here as well. Now let's hop right on over to bar 198. The drama of this part is amazing. I absolutely love this part. It's the same boring theme as we've heard before, but it really works in this specific context. Let's listen to this and also to the next part, where you get a really nice calm part, which in my opinion should be the last part of this piece. Unfortunately, Dvořák didn't think that was enough, but I'll stop it where I think it should have ended anyway. How beautiful isn't that? And of course, because that should have been the last part, I won't be talking much about the rest. It's basically just a recap of what's already happened. I will talk about the second time Dvořák had an opportunity to end it on a good note though, which starts right here at bar 313. Just the way this little fragment passes through the string section It's really nice. It comes from the flutes, and then the string section adopts it. And then the horn recaps a theme you've already heard, but it's really a nice calm way to end it. Listen to that part and then I'll summarize my thoughts afterwards. So, to summarize, Dvořák is really good at tension and release. He's also really good at recycling the same themes, kind of like Grieg did in his piano concerto. And if you haven't seen my opinion about Grieg's piano concerto in A minor, I will make a link for it right here. I think it should be on screen right now. Otherwise, it will also be in the description box if I can't make it work. And that was it for this time. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have a suggestion for me for something I should look at, you may leave the suggestion in the comments. Just make sure that it is available on IMSLP in the public domain, that's really important, and that there's a recording I can use there as well. Recordings usually aren't in the public domain, but they may have a Creative Commons type license, which will make it possible for me to use them anyway. If you liked the video, I would be very happy if you press the like button. If you didn't like the video, please tell me why in the comments. And I'd be really happy if you subscribed. I jump with joy every time there's a new subscriber. I hope to see you back for my next video, but until then, have a great time!